Here we go. Hello, everybody. This is Julie Nelson, Rich Witch, and we are here today to hear from beautiful Sue Rumack, who is, like me, a part of the Sacred You community. She's a host of tribes, and today we're going to talk about her masterclass because she, like quite a few of us, have incredible masterclasses that we are running for everybody during the HarmonyFest, which is not that far away. So I'm going to give you a bit of an introduction, and then we're going to share a bit what Sue's masterclass is about and see if it's for you. And by the way, if you have any questions, you're listening to this, put them in. We can come back and comment later, or they might come into the chat, but don't hesitate to answer our questions. So, Miss Sue, I'll hand it over to you in a minute, but your masterclass sounds very intriguing. It's 3 secrets to becoming the Pied Piper of magnetic business charisma. Every time I hear the Pied Piper, I'm sorry, I have to share this, is I always feel like that when I'm with my unicorns, because I've got 5 mini horses that I call unicorns, and they follow me like I feel like the Pied Piper. So I love that. And this is, of course, a 90-minute masterclass for empowered women and entrepreneurs. It's about discovering your mind, body, spirit connected power tools that transform you into the invisible magician behind your business, so it thrives and your impending burnout, very important, fades. So I'm going to get you to introduce yourself, but I just wanted to mention you've got 3 secrets here. Secret 1 is the charismatic passion. Secret 2 is your inner Pied Piper. And secret 3 is the magnetic pull. Would you like to elaborate on those a little bit for our audience? Because they're going to be a main part of what your masterclass is about.
I would love to. So when we're talking about being a Pied Piper of anything, there's got to be something unique, something magical, something energetic about us that creates a pull, that people, if you can grab them in a certain way, it makes it almost impossible for them to ignore you until you finish talking. Now, once you've got their attention, it's up to you to do the selling, to make that impression that they're going to remember and not ever forget and want to share with everybody else. Because when they share you, it makes them look really, really good. So, excuse me just a second. So charismatic passion, what ends up happening with a lot of businesses when they first begin, when we first birth them, we birth them with all of our energy. We imbue them with our energy, and that gets them off the ground. They're bright, they're shiny, they haven't got any cobwebs at that point. And people like bright, shiny objects. So they're going to follow that for a little while. What ends up happening is that after a little while, if you've imbued it with your own passion, not its identity and its passion, your business isn't going to go anywhere fast. And you're going to eventually lose passion for it because it's pulling it out of you and you get depleted. Whereas if you created something that has an energetic center, an energetic soul to it, it begins to build its own passion, its own reason for being, its own purpose and mission. And so that's where the charismatic passion comes from. It's up to you to discover all of those little bits and pieces that give it its soul and its energy, so that it begins to build its own vortex of energy that becomes magnetic. And you can step back and let it take over. And then all you have to do is direct it a little bit. So charismatic passion is one of the first things that we will be talking about on our 90-minute masterclass. And I'm going to break it down into little bits and pieces. So they're really easy to get a handle on, and they'll be fun because they'll be done with stories. They'll be done with maybe with pictures. I haven't done the PowerPoint for it yet. And there maybe
Mhm.
won't even be a PowerPoint. I'm not sure. But charismatic passion is something that I learned. Oh my God. When my husband and I first started our very first business, we were 23 years old. 23 years old. And we did it because my husband was not well. And we were told that he probably would never be able to work a full-time, normal job ever. And so I said to him, honey, let's make something that you love doing. I'll do it with you. I'll do all the hard work and you'll just show up for the good stuff. And he said, great idea. What are we going to do? And he loved photography. So he created his own photography business. I managed it. And photography on its own, it isn't that exciting. But we also had a side business where we restored old photographs, 100-year-old photographs kind of thing. And that was filled with magic. The first time we went out and did a show, we were sitting at this long table and there were people walking past us and nobody paid us any attention. I got us a good booth and a good location because I understood traffic flow, and nobody was paying any attention to us. And I said, honey, you got to stand up and talk to the people. And he went, I'm not talking to people. I went, honey, somebody's got to talk to the people. And he goes, you talk to the people. And I was incredibly shy and introvert. And I went, we got to make money. We got to pay for this booth. So I've got to do something. So I stood up and I started talking to the people. And the more I talked, the more excited I got. The more excited I got, the more people gathered around our table. By the time we left that day, I think we had about $1,500 in sales in our pocket. For people that handed us their photographs to strangers, gave them money at a booth and said, we'll be back for them next week. And I went, oh my God, we can do this. Charismatic.
Can I just
passion.
say that I can see where the Pied Piper comes in after you speaking about that too.
That's it.
We have a look at that? Yeah.
I'd love to.
Because
that's exactly where I was
follow
going.
you.
So exactly. In the whole point of discovering why your clients aren't showing up. So when we talk about the Pied Piper brought his own magic. I don't know if you know the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. I think some of the younger people don't. And I will tell that story on the masterclass. But the reason that people aren't gravitating towards you, well, they're gravitating towards you. As long as you're energetic and as long as your passion is there, they will continue. But they can't translate your passion into your product's passion or your business's passion. So part of what we do in this masterclass is going to be discovering how your business itself is the Pied Piper. It's the soul, and it creates the magic and the excitement that draws people who will follow it, not you, anywhere, and buy everything it offers and brag about it. So one of the reasons that I really got interested in this whole Pied Piper concept was because I was looking at how businesses were really magnetic in the 20th century and how that's changed in the 21st. So in brief, we've got Oprah, we've got Tony Robbins, and now we've got Elon Musk. And if you take a look at all three of those people, Elon Musk was born in the 20th century. His mind doesn't think like a 20th century person. He goes into 10D, not 5D, not 4D, not 3D. But the point is, he's still getting by on his personal charisma. Oprah closed her business down and went only to her recording studios and her movie theaters, movie studios, when she got tired of being the energy, the driver of it all. Even though she had a massive machine behind her, it was her that people were coming for. She recognized she couldn't do that forever. And if you notice, the Oprah hype is a lot less. And people aren't oohing and awing because she stepped back. Her products are still there, but they were not imbued with her. Like, she didn't imbue them with their own magic. She was the magic. Tony Robbins, the same thing. The poor guy is like in his late 60s, he's losing, or maybe even his early 70s, and he's losing his voice because he used it so much. He's had to hire a really pretty girl to take his place to be that voice. And he is still pushing his magic, his Pied Piper. When he can't do it anymore and somebody else takes over for him completely, things will begin to wind down. But I can only prophesy that. I can't say that's happening yet because it's not happening yet. And then Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk has given his products their magic. He represents the products, but he is not the product. And you see, that's where he has shifted into the 21st century. And that's what I want spiritual entrepreneurs to think about doing. Because if they're going to get by on their personalities alone, they'll have a really hard sell to become the status symbol product that people want from their marketplace. That's what I want. I want spiritual entrepreneurs to understand how they make their product the Pied Piper, so that their product can continue leveraging income for them forever and ever, even if they have to step back from being its mouthpiece. So that combines secret number 2 and secret number 3, the magnetic pull. The magnetic pull. And the magnetic pull, you have to create your product, your business itself, as an avatar, as its own identity with its own soul, its own mission, its own purpose. And this is what we're going to be talking about in the 90 minutes. And I probably used up more than half of my time just talking about that without even promoting, telling people what's so amazing about them that they can do this. So there you go.
And we all have it within us. I feel too, though, with all of that, there is that, and I'd love to hear your thoughts because we haven't mentioned that, is that it's really important for building that know, like, trust, which is where the Pied Piper comes in, isn't it? You don't believe that? Okay.
I did.
Tell me then. I'm curious.
Sorry, I just had to mute myself. Thank you. Okay, so the know, like, and trust factor is also a 20th century concept, and it was created when we were the front-facing icon of our businesses. And if we're going to create our businesses as the avatar, as the personality, it's the business that you have to create the know, like, and trust factor for. You're only an employee of the business as far as anybody else is concerned. They will know, like, and trust you as a salesperson. But not as the business itself. And when people like us, spiritual entrepreneurs, build our businesses, it's built on our integrity. It's built on our ability to become known for what the business provides, and we become the thing it provides. If you are your product, and you've chosen to be your product, then you're going to continue on with that old concept. Now, even if you are a solopreneur, you're a reader of some kind, okay? It's your readings that you're selling. It's your process that you're selling. So that if you're selling yourself, you run into a big risk, because if you've had a client that's had really good results with you for a period of time, excuse me.
All right. And I want to thank Sue for coming on, by the way, folks. She's been sick with COVID, so cheering you on.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So as a solopreneur, a reader, a psychic, a medium, it's the hardest thing in the world to take yourself out of the product or the service. I know, because I've been trying to do it for years, and it's really hard to do. So what I'm doing now is I'm writing my programs in a way that all I'm doing is presenting them. It's not Sue says this and Sue says that. It's Calm the Overwhelm Masterclasses is offering you this particular program, and this is the structure of it, and these are the processes in it. Nobody needs to know that I wrote the program. I'm delivering the program.
I'm
Okay.
glad I asked that question. That's very powerful for people to know, actually. And I completely understand what you're saying. And now as you're speaking on processing that, and how I've combined it, so it's certainly going to have me thinking about this. I think that's a fantastic point to bring in, because it was drummed into us at one point in business. You have to build that know, like, trust. And I think for me still there is a certain aspect of it. However, I absolutely see what you're saying. I love it. I'm glad I asked that question. So we've got a little bit of time left. I know you've talking about readers and healers. So who are the people that are going to get the most out of this brilliant masterclass that you're doing?
Okay.
Or is it for anybody?
Truthfully, it is right across the board for any spiritual, heart-centered entrepreneur, business person, somebody who even works for an MLM or some other team-based sales machine. Because even if, especially for the people in MLMs, because the product is already created. It's already created as the part of the avatar of the business that they're selling. Okay.
Yes.
And the know, like, trust comes into them being the service person who delivers the product.
Yes.
And the training on the product and the sales for the product and all of that. So the know, like, trust factor, the MLM person has to do a double selling job when it comes to the know, like, and trust. Because number one, the client needs to know, like, and trust them, and they can never, ever, ever let the client down.
Yes.
Ever. Okay. Because if they do, even once, that client is now going to badmouth them to all their friends that they recommended they buy the product. Now, the second piece of it is, they have to deliver their service impeccably. They can't get lazy. They can't get lazy with it. The other half is that they have to deliver the know, like, and trust factor on all the products that they're selling and on the parent company. They're doing 3 know, like, and trust jobs, right?
Yeah.
3 separate profiles.
Yeah.
Which is really, really hard. And that's why it's tough. But if somebody who's going into an MLM understands this, and they begin to build their sales identity as being, number one, I deliver this, the product delivers this, and the company delivers this. And you create it as a 3-step know, like, and trust. You build it out. And you have to decide, are you going to build it out with you as the front-facing thing, or are you going to build it out from the company and reverse engineer it back to you, who's the little person who just takes their money and hands them their product and delivers it? Yeah. So who's it for? Okay, it's for any spiritual, business-based entrepreneur, number one. Number two, it's for, and that could be a product base. It could be a service base, right? It can also be a social worker who has their own private social worker clinic. It could be a therapist, manual, physical, psychological therapist, who's also heart-centered. And because they are a solopreneur, they think they're delivering that know, like, trust factor. What they're really delivering is a product. So they have to create the avatar for the product. The whole point of taking a look at business charisma, the Pied Piper, the magnetic, charismatic parts of it, that magnetic pull, is because once you've mastered it, it gives you a ton of freedom within your own company.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes, you set it all up. It's heavy lifting to set it up in the first place. But after that, it's a matter of feeding the machine, and the machine does all the heavy lifting after that.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Right? It's freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. So your masterclass is on. I just want to share all of this with everybody.
Please.
So actually, it's for Australian non-members of the Sacred U community. This is only a $65 masterclass for Australian dollars, and if you're a member it's 52. So for masterclasses this is an excellent price, especially with all the information that you're going to jam pack in there, and I can see that people are going to get a lot out of it. But what I'm looking for is the date, and
I'm offering it on the very last day of HarmonyFest. And in North America, it's going to be October the 13th. And in Australia, it's October the 14th. I believe the 14th. I believe the timing, I set it in the late evening. I think it starts at 10 o'clock. My time, Eastern Standard, and it runs 90 minutes. So I'm going to be done at almost 11:45 at night. But for you guys in the Southern Hemisphere, I did it so that it would be in the middle of your, I think it's either your Friday, it's your Friday.
The 14th is actually the Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Double check for you.
No, yes, you're right. 14th. Mine is the Friday.
With the time zones.
I know.
And please remember, for those of in New South Wales and a couple of other states, we don't all have the same time zones here as well. But in there's Australian Daylight Savings Time, which is New South Wales, Melbourne, and I don't know what else. The rest are all varying. So be sure to check your time zone. And you can book now by going to the Sacred U .love website, and the links are going to be in the comments section for you. And again, if you have any questions, Sue, after she's had a rest tonight, will be happy to come back to you and answer your questions. And thank you, Sue, for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, there's so much going on with the HarmonyFest, lovelies. Like, honestly, there's readers, there's masterclasses, we have online stalls where we all have our service and products. Yes. And so you've got your online stall, Sue?
I do. And you're
doing your masterclass. Yes. And then you're also the host of the Tribe
Life Force Activators.
Yes.
Life Force Activators.
I have managed to watch a couple. The time doesn't work for me, which is such a shame, but check out Sue's Tribe as well. Feel free to invite all your friends to Sacred U Community and to the HarmonyFest. We're really excited. So much has been put into this. We've got amazing, amazing people involved, and looking forward to seeing everybody, sharing our passions with you all. And Sue, you've got a couple of minutes, is there one thing that you would like to finish off with for our listeners?
Yeah, actually there is. The reason that I decided to run the masterclass on the last day of HarmonyFest, I'm actually the last masterclass as well. Okay. And the reason that I did that is that because after everything, all the other 23 masterclasses, after all the stall vendors have done their presentations, I want to leave people with a very strong presence for how they can build charisma into their business. This is a spiritual business expo. Yes. And I want them to have all those tools under their belt, in their brains, and the special offer that I'm going to make to them to continue that learning after the HarmonyFest is done. But I wanted to do this on the very last day so that it wouldn't get lost. with all of the
that.
other messages. So what I'm going to suggest to people who are watching the replay, who may be watching live, is if you're interested, book your space now, put it in your calendar. Remember that it's the last masterclass on the last day, and it's loaded, I mean, loaded with everything you need to begin to redesign the identity of your business so that it becomes magnetic and a Pied Piper, so that you're going to keep that's it.
I love it. I love it, Sue. And I love that you've purposely created that intention for when you're running your masterclass. I've actually done the same because of the magical energies. And
yes.
It's great when we actually do that and see we're all putting in so much intention and energy into it as well for our attendees to benefit the most. So in saying that, Sue, thank you very much. I trust that we're going to go and have a beautiful rest and sleep now and have some restoration and rejuvenation. And we will see you very soon. And thanks everybody for being here. And if you do catch the replay, please put #replay, and you may be able to tag Sue as well for any questions. That's
absolutely
it. Fantastic.
Thank you. Rich Julie Nelson, thank you so much for a wonderful interview. I knew you were going to be the best interviewer for me. I just knew it. So thank you. And thank you to Sophia for choosing you. She's in the background and she's taking care of all of our magic to make sure that this replay is going to happen and that the interview itself was running live. So yeah, thank you to everybody involved.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It is. It's amazing.